scarlet blaze. The Maiden's Peril. When he learns of the Empire's struggle, Dmitri decides the time is right to strike. He moves swiftly to drive the Empire out, toppling one unfaithful Western lord after another. Finally, he descends on Aryan Road, seat of Count Ro, the first lord to betray him. Thus does Edelgard's army begin another grueling march to rescue a different count.
We've been here before. But we were in such a rush to rescue Leonardo that we never got more than a glimpse of Aryan Road. Can't really appreciate the scale that quick. And now we're back to bail it out.
If only Claude hadn't hatched his futile scheme. We could have avoided all these needless battles and saved countless lives.
Yet, in a more positive light, he handed us the perfect opportunity to show that not even the Alliance and Kingdom together can match the Empire's strength. Once we crush the army of Fargus, our superiority will be clear for all to see.
And will that actually result in fewer casualties going forward? Because that is what would put Her Majesty's heart at ease.
I will make no guarantees for matters beyond our control. So long as fanatics are willing to die for the Central Church, casualties are inevitable.
We broke the Alliance's siege, and we can break the Kingdom's too.
We're lucky it's a stronghold like Aryan Road that's under siege. It shouldn't be half the nail-biter we had to deal with last time.
Yes, but last time Count Bergles was in command. For all we know, Count Ro will break like a twig and surrender the moment he hears the first soldier crest the hill.
As I see it, we have two options. We can take a direct path for Aryan Road, or we can wait until we scatter the Kingdom troops that are fanned out in the north. It is a most vexing decision.
As a professional at staying holed up, I think we should secure the perimeter first and get rid of as much danger as we possibly can.
Time is important. We should be striking fast and hard.
War doesn't wait. We should free the city while we still have the chance.
Let's keep both options open and see how the situation unfolds. General Randolph.
Yes, Your Majesty.
I commend you for holding Aryan Road with what few soldiers you had.
Thank you, Your Majesty. But I am unworthy of such praise when I failed to prevent the siege. Coordination with Count Ro proved difficult. It was all I could do merely to keep the enemy in check.
That alone is commendable. The more foolish man would have rushed to glory, and gotten himself and his underlings killed in the process.
I have a key role for you in the coming rescue, General. I know you were up to the task.
Of course, Your Majesty.
My brother and I will give our all.
Very good. But do not let your eagerness for victory come at the cost of lives. We have many more battles ahead and must conduct ourselves accordingly.
Hey there, Edelgard.
Leafing through documents, are we? This is new.
Yeah, completely out of character, I know. But one of these reports has been stuck in my mind. Back when Count Ro declared fealty to the Empire, other lords committed to doing the same, right? But the moment we left and the Kingdom army marched south, they fell right back in line. It's like they never betrayed Fargus in the first place.
Good memory. That's exactly what happened. Houses Elidor and Duval both made overtures to join the Empire.
So why is the Kingdom welcoming them back without so much as a wrist slap? Is this another House Gloucester thing where the politics demand it? Seems like their importance as noble families outstrips the fact they're all two-faced liars.
Politics are doubtless involved, but the heads of houses can change, as they did with Gloucester. We're not bound to place importance on any one individual, only the bloodline.
So the kingdom's aristocracy gets the same free pass as the alliances?
Yes, and the empires as well, even though I do my best to treat everyone equally. I cannot afford to slight a minister's house, for example. They broke fealty to the former Prime Minister when they swore it to me. Would you call that treachery? What makes it different from the actions of Count Gloucester?
Greed makes it different. And I'd say betraying someone for money is lower than low.
That's one way to look at it. I agree that what matters is the reason behind the change of heart. Was it for land? For status? To exact revenge or seize glory? Because I view a betrayal for any of those reasons to be utterly worthless.
Yeah, money and vengeance are pretty shallow motives. Oh, that's why I'm here.
I'm not talking about mercenaries. I'm talking about lords. Each of their decisions has the ability to upend the lives of thousands, if not more. Only a person with the character to realize that is truly fit to lead.
I've worked for plenty of nobles in my time. Until now, I couldn't have cared less what it means to actually be one. But then you gave me responsibility over all of these soldiers, and it... Well, I guess I'm starting to see the world in a different way. And the people who live in it, too.
I see.
I admit, your grand designs sail clear over my head sometimes. Most of the time, actually. But that's why I stand by you. I feel like one of these days, something important's gonna rub off on me.
And I feel the same. You've opened my eyes to all manner of things I might never have seen otherwise. You are a commoner without the fetters of a family name, wielding your sword directly for me. That's more valuable than you may realize.
Needless to say, that is the only logical course of action. Excuse me, are you even listening?
Yeah, I totally am. You're gonna save this prince who's being held captive by some evil cult of sorcerers in order to restore House Nouvelle?
That is not even remotely close to what I said. Where has your mind been this whole time? Creating new magic, charting unknown sorcery waters. Therein lies the means to make my dream a reality. To that end, I have decided that you will make a most fitting test subject for my research.
No thanks.
What reason could you possibly have to refuse? Do you not want the honor of helping House Nouvelle regain its former glory?
I don't mind lending a hand, but I'm not so keen on being a test subject. You don't even know what'll happen. Wouldn't it make sense to experiment on yourself first?
Huh. A rather astute deduction for one such as yourself. However, there is one critical flaw in your reasoning. Were I to do as you propose, I would be unable to properly observe the results with my own eyes.
Well then, you'll just have to be patient until someone volunteers. We'd have a big problem on our hands if something happened to me before the next battle, right? Actually, that probably goes for everyone.
I suppose you are correct. But then, my research has reached an impasse.
I guess so. Okay, how about this? Since we're at war, why not try and distinguish yourself in battle? You could still conduct your research at the same time. Combat's more my wheelhouse anyway. In fact, we could even start right now with some training. What do you say?
I respectfully decline. While I am not entirely opposed to the idea of military prestige, I am unable to accompany you at this time. Training at night will surely suffice.
At night? But you won't have enough time if you don't train during the day. You're not planning on pulling all-nighters, are you?
Oh, please! I am not that foolish! I simply do not wish to train at this very moment.
Are you sure? I'm not trying to force you, but there's no time like the present. This is your dream we're talking about, after all. Are you just gonna give up on it?
I appreciate the encouragement, but there are extenuating circumstances at play. Nevertheless, I shall succeed in all my endeavors, be they magical or military, and I shall do it all in my own way.
Oh, hey, Happy. You sure like the outdoors, huh?
I guess you could say that. Probably because I grew up in a forest. Or maybe it's because I was forced to live in Abyss all that time.
Oh, that's right. You were at Garreg too. I wasn't there for very long, but I never would have guessed there was a whole town hiding just below my feet.
Well, it was. I should know. What about you, though? What did you do before hopping into the mercenary business?
Before that? Oh, well... I lived with my mom in a village deep in the mountains. Feels like forever ago now. Oh, I call her my mom, but we weren't actually related. She was more like a foster parent.
So what was she like? I don't suppose she was interested in magical research, was she?
I don't know about research, but yeah, she knew how to use magic.
Interesting. How did you two end up living together?
I don't really know the details. I can't remember anything from before I was with her. Apparently, I was a foundling. Sadly, finding a starving, abandoned child isn't that uncommon. But for her to take me in and raise me as her own, I think my mom was someone special.
Yeah, I guess. She was probably a good person.
Something on your mind, Happy?
I was just wondering why someone who could use magic was living in a remote mountain village.
You know, someone told me one time that she wasn't actually from there. But when I asked her about it, she just gave me this sad smile.
Very interesting.
Seriously, Happy, what's going on? Does it have something to do with my mom?
No, it's nothing. Sorry to bring it up. I was just letting my imagination get the better of me. Sorry if I upset you, really.
I'm fine, don't worry about it. No big deal. Besides, I'm sure you had your reasons, right? If you ever feel like talking about it, I'm always here.
Thanks. Just some old demons of mine.
Happens to the best of us. Don't sweat it. You want to head back and get something to eat?
Sure. Oh, and we can pick some berries on the way. I think I saw some a little bit ago.
What kind? After all my time in the mountains, I'm something of a berry expert myself.
I am stuffed. Looks like you can really pack it away too, pal.
Still can't compete with you, Balthus. That sure did hit the spot, though.
Got that right. Now we can charge into tomorrow's battle fully energized. Hey, let's say we make a little bet. So you can go deeper into enemy territory.
No way. Warfare and wagers aren't a good mix. I mean, yeah, we're fighting for a renown out there, But it's not a game. It's life and death.
Figured you'd say something like that. You seem like the type.
And yet, you asked me anyway. Don't try to drag me down with you, Balthus.
What's wrong with a little game of chance? It's not like it's evil or something.
Then what would you call it? Financially irresponsible? Because I don't want to end up broke either. Not like some people I know.
You're one tough nut, I'll give you that. But I'm not talking about money. You know what I'm getting at, right? When you're on the battlefield, the only thing you can bet is your life.
That's exactly what I take issue with.
Okay, I know this might sound a little far-fetched, but hear me out.
This ought to be good.
Whatever you do, you'll do it 10 times better if you're having fun, right? That's the key to success.
I'd probably agree if our lives weren't on the line out there. Battles are different, and you know it. You could be having the time of your life 1 minute, then one slip up and you're bleeding out on the ground.
Look, I get where you're coming from. Really. But my way's gotten me this far. Living on that edge between victory and death is the key to survival.
Maybe for you, but that's not how everyone else approaches it. I've known plenty of mercs who said the same thing, but they never made it back home. In fact, you're the only one of them who's still kicking. So I'm sorry, but I have to disagree.
You know, you and I have a lot in common. We're practically kindred spirits. But this is the one thing we don't see eye to eye on. Strange, isn't it?
From where I'm standing, the only strange thing is the way you're thinking about this.
Well, I guess the bet's off then. Let's just put this little chat behind us and give it our all tomorrow.
Sounds good. Just don't get too reckless and wind up losing your head, okay?
Ah, Bernadetta. I see the documents I was waiting for have finally arrived.
Hubert! I'm not doing anything bad!
Then would you be so kind as to hand those over? They are addressed to me, after all.
Oh, right. Edelgard asked me to bring them. Phew, that was heavy. What are all these documents anyway?
Old records of bandit activity in this area that I need for my investigation.
Hey, that reminds me. I heard we had a group of bandits cornered, but they sort of got away.
Yes, a most vexing development. It beggars belief that our troops prove unable to exterminate even these few stray vermin.
Wait, are you angry?
Oh, I doubt it is worth raising my ire over.
That's good. But you look like you're angry.
Bernadetta, are you aware of how your persistence often leads to the very outcome you wish to avoid?
Yes?
In any event, my mood is what it is because I must now locate a den of rats. I will need to research previous stomping grounds, then cross-reference the location of their old lairs in order to work out where this new one might be.
Wow, that sounds like a ton of work.
Yes, but there is nothing for it. These craven rats will not re-emerge once they've burrowed into their nests.
Hey, neat! I definitely understand the desire to burrow in somewhere and never come out. But when there are festivals and stuff, they might slip up and leave? Maybe? Possibly? Everyone loves festivals, except when there are people around, which is usually the case.
Somehow I suspect you would not emerge for even the most magnificent of carnivals. However, you and the rats may differ on that point.
We do what now?
Yes, of course. Unlike you, these thieves have no particular desire to live away from others. We have had them on the run for some time, which means they've not been able to earn coin through their usual underhanded work. Thus, if I were to prepare a place where they could cut a few easy purses, they might consider the spoils to be worth the risk.
Okay.
And the bait shall be a festival. Due to the war, we have not held a genuine festival for quite some time, after all. So even if we do not capture the rodents, and it merely brings much-needed succor to the people, I would still consider it a success. Well done, Bernadetta. You have come up with a splendid idea that eluded even myself.
Why are you complimenting me out of nowhere? Are you plotting against me?
Not particularly, no. Although I am thinking I will require your assistance in this matter from now on.
No! Someone free poor Bernie from this torment!
Hey, Caspar. Oh, what's with the mountain of books?
Wait, please don't tell me you're planning to use them in your training somehow.
What kind of guy do you think I am? They're books. I'm gonna read them.
Read? A book? You? Did you eat something weird?
Come on, you sound just like Linhart. I've torn through books before, sometimes even 2 or 3 whole chapters a day.
Please don't use the word torn when it comes to books. You're going to make my heart stop. And books are divided into chapters, not chappers. Oh, Caspar, promise me you won't hurt those books.
You don't have to worry, Dorothea. I realized something the other day. A person who's responsible for troops can't rely on physical strength alone. You probably wouldn't guess it from how my father looks, but he's pretty good about that stuff.
Can't say I'm shocked that the Empire's Minister of Military Affairs has read the occasional book. Speaking of, you may have heard this story before, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Back during the War of the Eagle and Lion, there was an Imperial general named Francis who was quite proud of his strength. But while he was indeed strong, he was unlearned, and so everyone looked down on him.
Why do I feel like this story is gonna make me feel like an idiot?
Just listen. The Emperor at the time gave Francis an order to study, and said that if he didn't, he wouldn't be allowed to lead anyone in battle. Francis did as his Emperor ordered, and studied as though his life depended on it, growing especially talented in the area of tactics and strategy. As a result, his deeds on the battlefield were great, and he eventually rose to the rank of Minister of Military Affairs.
So I should take a page out of Francis's book, right?
So long as you don't mean literally, yes. Incidentally, the words the Emperor used to praise Francis were memorable enough to have survived even to this day. With the passing of 5 sunrises and 5 sunsets, even the meanest soldier may burgeon into a peerless commander. It means if you study hard for 5 days, even a common soldier can become a great general who commands an entire army.
5 days? That's nowhere near enough time. It'd take me 5 days just to read 1 book. You gotta at least give me until the end of the war.
But by that point, won't your chances to distinguish yourself in battle have already passed?
Oh, you're right. What am I gonna do, Dorothea?
Well, I suppose I have no choice but to help you. Who knows? I might even learn something.
You're the best. Thank you.
There you are, Hubert. So what's going on? This couldn't wait for a more reasonable hour?
You are the last to arrive. But better late than never, I suppose.
Yeah, well, you know it's not a real party until I decide to show. So what's the deal?
As unflappable as ever, I see. Can I take it from your lackadaisical attitude that you know why I have summoned you here?
Not even a little bit. But judging from the company, you clearly rounded up the toughest people you could find. Just thought I should play the part.
It saddens me that I am not included in this toughness calculation of yours.
Neither fighting or hunting have toughness for me. I am fighting and others are falling. It is a thing of ease.
Get on with it.
Yes, well, setting the question of toughness aside, your task remains the same.
Can you please just get to the point already? I'm gonna doze off if you stretch this intro out any longer.
Then I will do just that. I have received information regarding a small-scale raid on Garreg Mach. The raiders in question are the Knights of Seiros, but judging by their low numbers, they are not attempting to reclaim the monastery. Rather, their goal is assassination. Specifically, they seek to eliminate Count Varley, the current head of the Southern Church.
The Knights. Good. I'll enjoy this.
I have knowledge of stopping assassins. Let us be going with all haste.
I see why you brought the three of us along now. But still, you've got an entire army at your disposal. Why use so small a force?
If we suddenly increase our presence at Garreg Mach, the Knights will realize they have been found out and cancel the raid. But I need them to carry out their plan to the letter, so they might walk right into my trap.
They will be like flies to the flame.
Not sure that's right, but I get what you're going for.
Even if the flies are strong, it all ends the same.
You both remain as inspiring as ever. Now then, as we will be heading out tomorrow, we had best get our preparations settled quickly. Seeing as you are a long-tenured mercenary of some renown, I will leave the guarding of Count Varley's person to you. I hope it goes without saying that this is not a job which calls for improvisation on your part. Keep him safe and whole, and do it well.
No worries, Hubert. Those knights won't touch even a single hair on your guy's head.
That is precisely what I wanted to hear. No wonder Lady Edelgard puts so much faith in you.
Seems like a lot of weight to throw on my shoulders.
If you fight with confidence, you will never be losing. I will do what I must.
Again, get on with it.
Yes, yes, very well. Now, as far as Garreg Mach's current military capability...
Why bring me from the monastery and into the outer courtyard? Is this really safe?
Perfectly so, provided you remain close.
What's happening? It's the church. They've come for me.
Strange. We had no reports of any excursions. Well, no matter. Our target is Count Varley.
Hurry up and deal with them. The future of the Empire itself depends upon my survival.
Why do they pursue Count Varley with such fierceness?
He played a rather large role in Her Majesty's banishment of the Central Church. As bishop, he gave legitimacy to her course of action. An action that carried great weight with adherents of the faith.
I can still fight!
I should be safe here. I hope.
There's the dog! Don't let him escape!
A mere trifle. Oh, not again! I can't take another step. You'll have to stop them here.
Child's play.
It's not over.
They are not finished. Remain on guard.
They're few in number, but well prepared. News of our raid must have leaked.
They make me sick. Still, looks like the two of us will have to pull this one out.
I'm swapping it!
Not.
Enemy down!
That was brilliant fighting. But I will not be outdone.
I am the Bishop of the Southern Church, Minister of Religious Affairs for the entire Empire. Why can't you protect me properly?
If the Empire's always this tough, you've got some road ahead. Aren't you the Princess of Bridget, who served the Empire?
I am serving Bridget, and Bridget is standing with the Empire.
You got my back?
All will perish.
We'll do it together! I got you now!
I should never have come to Garrick Mach. I permitted ambition to blind me.
Our bait is on death's doorstep.
That's it! I'm going back inside and never setting foot outside the monastery again.
I see where Bernadetta gets it from. Still, at least the guy's safe now.
We finished the cleanup and inspection of the walls, sir. We also cleared out the Knights of Seiros' base at the foot of Garrick Mach. The enemy has been routed and is now engaged in a full retreat.
Well done. That should keep us secure for the time being. Still, you will want to remain vigilant, Count.
But you just said we are secure.
True. I do not expect our enemy to launch any military offenses in the near future.
But if not military, of course.
I get it. We'll be sneaking through the back door instead of trying to knock down the front gates. I imagine another assassination attempt is already in the works. Probably something cowardly like poison or a dagger in the ribs.
I shudder to think of those zealots out for my blood. I entreat you to protect me, Baron Barnabas. After all, I won't always have the Minister of the Imperial Household here to save me. The war has reached a critical stage, and his wisdom will soon be needed elsewhere. As steward of Garrick Mach, my life is in your hands.
I will do what I can, of course.
To start, I want you to confirm the identity of every single person entering and leaving the monastery. Also, the gatekeeper must hear of these new attempts on my life and ensure he keeps his watch most keen. That one is far too casual for my liking. Yes, well, enough of this. I must be off.
Of course, Count Varney.
Weird guy, huh?
Stronger than he looks, though not inclined to fight.
He is reminding me of certain woodland creatures. Though he is a fighter of much weakness, he has a talent for remaining alive.
When you put it like that, he comes off like some sort of mastermind. But I guess all Imperial nobles are crafty in some way or another.
Crafty, is it?
Sure. I mean, the two of you are nobles, and I'd say you're as cunning as they come.
Yes, Hubert and Yic17 are both nobles full of cleverness.
Don't forget to include yourself among that number. After all, I specifically selected the craftiest soldiers I could think of for this mission. When the enemy is neck-deep in skullduggery, I need soldiers who are adept at thinking on their feet.
You think I'm like you? Really? That's great!
Only a jest, I assure you. But since it clearly pleases you so, I must admit there was some truth behind it.
Good. Glad we got that settled.
I tire of this. Farewell.
He sure knows how to make an exit.
We should be going as well. It lacks wisdom to be far from the base for too long. But if you wish to be joining me for a small hunt, we will be passing through woodlands on the way back.
Sure, if it's on the way.
This is filling me with happiness. We will be landing a nice catch, then return home. Maybe a bear or a boar.
Yeah, that's not really what I'd call a small hunt. Petra? Hey, wait up!
It seems we truly are a crafty group after all. Still, facing Catherine and Shamir time and again is a great burden to bear. But I must shoulder it if I am to protect Her Majesty.